Do you miss those days when you wait for Vanakkam, Agila India Vanali Seedigal, Vasipadu, Naina to boost you up in the morning? Come join me, Naina, from Blue Team Group B to learn about one of the first and foremost technological innovation, radio.
What is a radio? Well, in this modern era, I'll have to admit that not everyone knows what it is. Even among my dear fellow young scientists, I'm not sure how many have used a real radio. But I am sure many would know what I am talking about. Radio is a mass communication device for the transmission of music, news, and other media from single broadcast stations to individual listeners. But how did we get this amazing invention? We have to travel back in time to understand this. Electricity is one of the marvels of today's world. Even after the invention of electricity, there was a widespread mystery around its magnetic properties. In 1831, one of England's famous scientists, Michael Faraday, through a series of experiments, discovered electromagnetic induction. Various scientists throughout 1800s experimented on this theory. James Clerk Maxwell predicted the existence of electromagnetic waves in 1864, and in 1893, American inventor Nikola Tesla proposed a wireless electric power transmission system. The first radio transmission was demonstrated by Guglielmo Giovanni Maria Marconi in 1894. Over the years, there has been a lot of improvements in radio technologies, but the basic principle still remains the same. Radio waves are a type of electromagnetic radiation with the longest wavelengths in the electromagnetic spectrum. The frequency of the waves ranges from 3 Hz to 30 MHz. They travel at the speed of light in vacuum and slightly lesser in atmosphere. The radio waves are used in mobile radio communication, broadcasting, radar and radio navigation systems, communication satellites, wireless computer networks, and many other applications. The radio communication system has a transmitter and a receiver. The transmitter will be the radio station from where the broadcasts are made, and the receiver is the radio at our homes. The radio waves by itself doesn't contain any information. The process of adding information to a radio wave is called as modulation. For this, the signal wave is mixed with a carrier wave. Radio waves can be modulated using 3 different methods: pulse modulation, amplitude modulation, and frequency modulation. Adding the signal wave to the pulse of the carrier is called as pulse modulation. Embedding the signal to the amplitude of the carrier is amplitude modulation, and frequency of the wave is frequency modulation. For our radio broadcasts, AM and FM are used. You might have noted this in your radio tuning systems. The modulated signal is then transmitted from the radio station using the antenna. Now we will travel through the block diagram of the radio and understand the working of the radio receiver. The receiver starts with the antenna, which captures the modulated signal from the radio station. This is passed through a radio frequency amplifier, which amplifies the waves to increase its strength. The strengthened waves are passed through a mixer coupled with an oscillator. The oscillator produces radio waves of desired frequency, and the mixer combines it with the amplified signal from the amplifier. The mixed signal is again passed through an amplifier to increase its strength. Now, the signal is ready for processing. It is then passed through a demodulator, which separates the carrier wave and the signal. The signal is then boosted for one last time using the audio frequency amplifier, and through the speakers we can listen to the radio programs. This is the circuit diagram of the receiver that I explained in the previous slide. The waves pass in the circuit through an antenna. This passes through a combination of capacitor and inductor, which filters out only the required signal. This then passes through a transistor, which amplifies the signals. Then we have a varying resistor that enable us to control the input to the operational amplifier. This is the final amplification process which is controlled by the rheostat. Next to this, we have a couple of capacitors that remove any remaining noise and feed the signal to the speakers. A radio is a nostalgia. I'm sure many would agree. It is one of the first and foremost portable devices and can even be called a great grandfather to our present day mobile phones. Radio transmission concentrated on local communities and are often the voice of common people. But it is slowly becoming extinct due to technological advancements. The television gave birth to images, but a radio communication gives birth to millions of images in millions of brains. So I urge everyone to take some time to tune in to this amazing technological innovation. Thank you.